Good evening and welcome to Halton News right here on YourTV. I'm Jessica Kading. 6 more people in our region have tested positive for COVID-19 since yesterday's update. That's 3 more people in Burlington, 1 more in Oakville, and 1 more in Milton. Today's breakdown of active COVID-19 cases is 7 in Burlington, 13 in Oakville, 8 in Milton, and 2 in Halton Hills. Ontario's first quarter finances were released yesterday by Minister of Finance Rod Phillips, who also provided an update to Ontario's action plan responding to COVID-19. Oakville MPP Stephen Crawford joins us today for more on our current financial situation.
Yeah, thanks, Jessica. So Minister Rod Phillips, who's the Minister of Finance for the province of Ontario, had a press conference yesterday and gave a fiscal update on the province and the financial state of the province. And unfortunately, our deficit is much larger than projected. Which will be in excess this year of $38.5 billion, which is a pretty big number. And as well, our revenues are going to be significantly lower than initially forecast, and they're expected to be at $150 billion. The government's invested a lot of money in COVID recovery measures. So a lot of that is really what's accounting for the big imbalance. So the government is spending about $7.7 billion additional on healthcare, about $11 for people, so individuals, families, helping support them through this tough time, and about $11 billion for businesses and rent relief in different forms to help businesses cope through this difficult time. So it's certainly not a pretty picture right now, but that's the state of the province we're in with COVID.
With the deficit almost double what the province projected back in March, I asked MPP Crawford what the plan is to deal with this increasingly enormous debt.
Well, I think that the government is committed to the health and safety of the people of Ontario first and foremost. I mean, our investment of over $7.7 billion in additional healthcare related expenditures, I think, signifies that, as well as looking after those people in vulnerable positions, be they elderly folks or people with families that need that extra income right now. We've been there to support them. Also, rent relief, so for businesses. So we've been there. We're going to get through this tough time. I'm very confident the province will be on a much better position once we get through COVID. But the province is certainly in a better trajectory, but we have a long way to go. We're going to need strong fiscal management here for many, many years to get out of the hole that we're in. Because as you know, Ontario had the highest debt of any sub-sovereign government in the world before COVID. So now we're in a precarious position. But again, I'm confident in the people and the businesses of Ontario. We'll get through this. School will be starting in a few weeks, and I'm confident that the plan we've got in place will work as well. So there's a lot to look forward to in the weeks ahead.
As it turns out, students really do have a voice when it comes to how they want to receive their education. Melissa Candelaria was able to speak with a local student who presented his idea on how the Halton Catholic District School Board should implement the adaptive model of learning in September.
Elijah Lorenko Owen is heading into grade 11 and with big aspirations for post-secondary. The government is mandating that high school adopt an adaptive learning model, which promotes putting students together in cohorts and/or alternating day or week delivery of classes. Now, the Catholic Board had initially decided to implement 1 class over 5 weeks at a time between cohorts, something Lorenko Owen says will be hard to do for many students.
I want to either go to university for computer sciences or law and politics, and those require a lot of different classes, and some of them are hands-on, some of them are not, but some of them are harder to do in a shorter period of time. So I have to take math, for instance, which I think would be really hard to do in just 5 weeks, learning all of the curriculum and then catching up from last year because we were online for half the year. So there's a lot of gaps from that, I think, because it was kind of scrambled and fast. So I think that making those gaps and plus doing all 10 units in 5 weeks would be really hard.
Not only will this timetable be hard to maintain, Lorenko Owen says they will lose their competitive edge when applying to post-secondary.
So I think that if I were to, and my peers in the school board were to have 1 class at a time, and all these other kids in other boards were having 4 classes at a time, and they were moving at a better pace and better suited for their educational needs, they would really have an advantage when it comes to university applications.
So Lorenko Owen decided to come up with his own method of class delivery, which involves 2 credits over a 44-week period. He presented his idea at the school board meeting Wednesday night, and after some debate, the school board voted in favor of this new plan. Lorenko Owen says it was great to see that he made a difference.
it's definitely important for the school board to hear more student voices, because I don't know of really any students that have delegated to the board, especially in my school. I know some parents have. I know my mom has before. But I definitely think it's more important to hear from students, because we're the ones that are actually impacted by the decisions.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Melissa Candelaria.
The executive director of the Burlington Food Bank, Robin Bailey, is part of the city's COVID task force, along with the president and CEO of Joseph Brant Hospital, Eric Vanderwall. Today, they were able to get together in person at the hospital to discuss how the frontline health workers were able to contribute over 750 pounds of food so far in support of our community.
I'm Bailey, Executive Director of the Burlington Food Bank, and over the last couple of days we've talked a little bit about some of the mental health issues and the other health issues that sometimes come along, and so we thought it would be great for us to come and see Eric Vanderwall here at the Joseph Brant Hospital.
Hi Rob, nice to see you today. My name is Eric Vanderwall. I'm the President and CEO of Joseph Brant Hospital, and really want to thank the food bank for all of their support. We were, I think over this past few months, we were able to donate from our staff about 750 pounds worth of food to help people in the Burlington community.
Yeah, one of the things that the Joseph Brant staff really felt was they were really being cared for well by the community, and so they wanted to help us out and support us. And it came through at a great time for us. I think not only did you support us with food, but also a number of your employees made donations to us, financial ones, which were a huge help as well. One of the things that we really felt that we've felt that support from is that your nurses also, when people are being discharged or whoever's in charge of the discharge, are telling people about the food bank and that there's food that's readily available to them that we're delivering to them so that they can go home, rest up, hopefully take care of all the issues they've had, and then be able to get that fresh, healthy food that they need.
Well, I know, and speaking on behalf of staff, I'm so pleased to hear that, and we have a long-standing relationship with the food bank. It hasn't just been over the course of COVID, and so I'm really pleased to hear that we have that ongoing connection so that we can directly refer people to the food bank if they're in need.
And it's great for us to also know that we have a great hospital in the area, that when we run into people that are facing different difficulties, whether it be actual health ones or if it's some of the mental health things or some of the addictions and struggles that they have, that they know that they have the great support here at the Joseph Brant Hospital. Thanks again, Eric. Great to meet you face to face. We've done it, I think, over Zoom a few times, but it's nice to finally meet you face to face. And again, thank you so much for all that Joseph Brant's doing here in Burlington.
Well, thank you, Robin. Again, I enjoy meeting you face to face as well, and look forward to our continued relationship with the food bank and Joseph Brant Hospital. As we go forward in the months ahead, I know people are always asking, so what's next with COVID? Where are we at? And I just want to reassure the community, as a hospital, we're prepared. We have plans in place so that if we do see a surge in COVID cases, that we are able to care for our community. I think it's also, though, important for us to celebrate the great work that people in Halton have done so far, right? So we've done really well in physical distancing, maintaining good hand hygiene practices, not touching our face. And in fact, I think in Burlington over this past week, we only have 4 cases of COVID positive people in Burlington. We have 0 cases in hospital today as we speak. And so that's really a testament to all of the great work that the people of Burlington and Halton have done. That's going to be the key for our success, Rob, going into the fall, right? So if we continue following those practices, we'll be able to reduce and mitigate the spread of COVID, keep people healthy, safe, and well. So that's my advice to the community is if we continue to do what we've been doing, we'll be in good stead. If things change, we'll be ready.
Great. Again, thank you so much for all that you're doing here in Burlington.
Thank you, Rob.
Earlier this week, Oakville MP Anita Anand explained the deals that she has made with Pfizer and Moderna to procure vaccines for Canadians if either of those companies are first to market. I then asked her whether these vaccines, when they're available, would be mandatory and or how it would be decided who receives the first round of doses.
Well, Jessica, you always have the great questions, and I will say that you're right that it would be a pan-governmental discussion and approach regarding the administration of vaccines. But I look at vaccines and the production of vaccines really in 3 phases: discovery, production, and distribution. And we are still very much in the first phase from a procurement standpoint, putting Canadian interests in place from a contractual perspective. We will then move to production, of course, and then finally distribution. And your question relating to how are we going to administer this vaccine really relates to the discussions we need to have across government and across the country with our provincial and territorial counterparts regarding the distribution and administration of the vaccine.
Overcrowding has been an issue at Oakville's waterfront parks. The town is concerned that people are not adhering to physical distancing recommendations, and there's also been issues with littering, alcohol, and bonfires being illegally lit in these parks. To discourage people from parking on residential streets when the parking lots are full, fines will be increased to $100 from August 31st straight through to the end of October. As reported yesterday, more funds from the federal government are headed our way. Yesterday, we featured the Burlington Mayor, Marianne Mead Ward, and her reaction, as well as that of Oakville's Mayor, Rob Burton. Today, we hear from Milton MP, Adam Van Couverden.
Towns and cities across Canada, and certainly in Ontario as well, operate as corporations, and their revenues have been impacted by COVID-19 as well. So I'm very grateful that the federal and provincial governments have stepped up. The federal government with $19 billion for towns and cities, and Burlington just was able to announce, gratefully, Mayor Marianne Mead Ward was able to announce the funding for the city of Burlington. And a little known fact that as the MP of Milton, I'm also the MP of a small part of Northern Burlington, along with Karina Gould and Pam Demoff. So Milton's announcement is coming soon, as is Oakville's and Halton Hills and Georgetown. So we are working hard to ensure that towns and cities can continue to operate. Their operation, budgets have been impacted with their revenues, certainly, and the services they provide keep our towns and cities moving, from childcare services to services for newcomers. Certainly, they're huge employers, and public transit keeps us moving. So very, very grateful to be able to say that, yes, indeed, our federal government is supporting towns and cities, and that Milton will be getting some of that support as well.
Thanks for being with us here on Halton News. We do need to take a short break, but we'll be back with a new way to recognize our veterans this Remembrance Day. Stay with us. Welcome back to Halton News. VR Pro is proud to announce the Remembrance Day races, which will benefit the Juno Beach Centre, Canada's Second World War Museum and Cultural Centre, located in Normandy, France.
Well, we are doing a Remembrance Day race for the Juno Beach Centre in France. And these people actually approached me a few months back because we wanted to do a real race. And I said, well, I really don't know about real races right now because everything is so up in the air. And so far, like all of our real races have been put on hold or they've become virtual. So we came up with a great plan, and we already have 70 people entered in this event. In fact, I just got a call from a lady in Nova Scotia saying that her father fought at Juno Beach and she's going to run the 1,500 distance or walk it because she's a little bit older. And so people are super excited. We've come up with an absolutely gorgeous medal, which you'll be able to show. And the commemorative coin from Juno Beach will be included in this kit. Plus, we're going to do a buff with the map of Juno Beach on it, and we're going to do a mask, and also the actual map will be going in the race kits as well. So this is going to be something really, really special for anybody that wants to commemorate and have something special for Juno Beach for Remembrance Day this year. In case we can't have any true ceremonies, people will still be able to celebrate all over Canada and all over. We're going to be sending these kits also to the Juno Beach gift shop in France and selling them there as well. So it's going to be super, super exciting. And we're so happy to be part of this, Jessica.
There are 3 race distances, 1,500 meters, 8K, and 21.1K, each selected for their historical significance relating to D-Day and Juno Beach. You can sign up by visiting vrpro.ca, and it's not too late to sign up for the COVID race either, as that deadline has been extended.
I just want to say, of course, thank you to everybody that's participated in our races. We do have a COVID race for the hospitals. And so far, we've raised about $30,000 for 4 different hospitals. Joe Brand, I think, has about $18,000 from it. And so we've extended that race till the end of September, so people can still get the actual COVID medal that looks like the virus, and a face mask that's and a shirt. So it's extended as well, because I think we're going to be running virtually for a while, but that's okay, because Canada's getting really fit now, because for a while all you could do was run and walk. So we're into the next running phase of the decade, I think, Jessica.
Another absolutely beautiful day out there today. Let's take a look now at our 5-day forecast. Sunny skies expected again tomorrow, reaching a high of 29 degrees. Those clouds will start to roll in overnight. 28 degrees will be our high on Saturday. No rainfall until Sunday. That's a 60% chance of rain on Sunday, and not quite so hot of an afternoon high. 24 degrees on Sunday. Looking into next week, there's a slight chance of rain to start off our week on Monday, and then those clouds will clear, revealing clear skies and our lowest high of the week, 23 degrees on Tuesday. While summer may look a little different this year, YourTV wants you to share your summer. Head over to YourTV Halton on Facebook and comment with a picture of what you're doing this summer, and you could win a weekly prize pack or even a grand prize of $500 to support a local business. Remember to tag Share Your Summer. One of the biggest challenges organizations face right now is figuring out how to lead through these unpredictable and uncertain times. In light of this, the Burlington Chamber invites you to experience the Dare to Lead program. They say it's a unique and powerful leadership development program with a focus on building skill sets so that you can rumble with vulnerability, live into your values, trust, and learn to rise. Individuals who successfully complete the 24-hour Dare to Lead program will receive a certificate of completion. To register, please visit burlingtonchamber.com. And now we'll look to how some of Halton's top companies performed on the markets today. Still ahead, a look to movies under the stars. More on that after this. Welcome back to Halton News. For many, summer nights mean summer movies, but with the pandemic having kept indoor theaters closed, many have been opting to watch under the stars.
Going to a drive-in theater has always had a nostalgic feeling for movie lovers, and with good reason.
So this drive-in was built in 1959, and our family took it over in 1961, and it was one screen, and it was cow pastures everywhere, and no development, and it was like something very novel at the time, and the drive-in's been around for 60 years, so it's quite a history.
The drive-in has experienced a resurgence in popularity since lockdown. In fact, they've sold out every day since opening June 5th.
So I always tell people, get your tickets early, and you buy them online. It's a very easy thing to do. The movies we're playing are a great selection of movies you've never seen, like Grease and Dirty Dancing and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So a lot of fun movies that people haven't seen. When you see them under the stars, it's transformational.
Why does Alan love the drive-in?
So it's a way of almost bringing your whole house to the drive-in, and it's almost like a form of urban camping. And so you're doing that, you're here for 4 hours, and you're with your family, with the people you want to be with, and you don't worry about anything because you're still, you have your own controlled atmosphere. And especially during these times, it's even more advantageous because your car is like your PPE, and you're very safe in your car, and we are practicing all the safe measures.
But what is bringing in the audience?
Well, the food's pretty good from the popcorn I've had, and it's just a better experience than staying inside a movie theater, and it's more cooler to sit outside under the stars and watch a movie.
Being able to be outdoors in the summer and not in like a freezing cold, dark theater surrounded by mouth breathers.
Cineplex is closed. It's the only way to watch a movie. I can watch Netflix, but you get tired of those movies, right? So like, you get to go out and still be inside at the same time. It's your social distancing, and you get to enjoy the movie theater.
I think COVID has brought us a lot back to traditions and like simple pleasures, and like the drive-in is so a summer simple pleasure. I haven't been since I was like in high school. And it's just such a nice way to do an activity that is socially distanced, and like you can get out here and like enjoy a movie in a way that you can't really do anywhere else right now. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you get to bring Shay.
Shay, what do you have to say about that?
Locked up for a bit. We've never been to the drive-in. We've been together for a while, and this is probably one of the only things we haven't done yet.
And Dirty Dancing.
And Dirty Dancing.
One of the best movies ever.
I thought that these things were like these pillar things were going to be like megaphones that you would blare into your car, but apparently technology has come a long way.
Those 60-year-old speaker poles are actually being repurposed as space markers for a new concession app that will soon allow you to order right to your car. But that's just one of the many changes due to COVID at the theater.
We have online ticketing, so there's no interaction with the box office except to scan your ticket through the glass. And pretty much our playgrounds are shut down, unfortunately, which is wonderful. We have a wonderful one for the kids. And then we have a beach volleyball court, that's shut down. Our dog park shut down, where so unfortunately you can bring your puppy, but you got to keep him in the car. So these are things that we've had to change. So it's still a huge celebration, but we have to balance the fun quotient with the safety quotient.
As Alan explains, the drive-in as a safe option is actually history repeating itself.
1951, the first drive-in, one of the first drive-ins that opened in California, was called the Circle Drive-In. And when they were promoting this drive-in, one of the starbursts, interestingly, which tells you that history rhymes, that come to the drive-in, the California drive-in, you won't get the flu and you won't get polio. So in a way, we think we're reinventing the wheel, but the drive-in used that as a selling point back in the 50s, and because California had a terrible polio epidemic in the early 50s, which has ravaged a lot of people and was a very serious thing. And so the drive-in was there for people that were worried about catching something, and today people are coming back to the drive-in even more, even though they've been coming to the drive-in for the last 40 years, but they're coming in droves now because they feel safer.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
Thank you for watching us here on Halton News. For more, you can visit us online at yourtv.tv. We're also on social media at YourTV Halton on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at haltonnews@cogeco.com. For Halton News, I'm Jessica Kading, and we'll be back tomorrow night live at 5:30 with a new edition.